and welcome to another amazing podcast with your host Miriam Khan, Raise Your Vibes. I am really blessed to have my sister from another Mr. Joanne Lindsay with me today. Hey Joanne, how you doing?
Hey Miriam, I'm brilliant, thank you. How are you?
I'm awesome. Joanne, it's always amazing to have you back on the podcast. It doesn't even feel like a podcast really, does it? It's just like two sisters chatting away, catching up with gossip, catching up with what's going on, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I just feel from the first time I met you, Miriam, that you are a soul sister. You are part of my tribe. And every time we've had a chat, we just talk about so many magical, amazing things. But then we also bring out the bad stuff that's happened to us, but we both empower each other. So I just love that connection we've had from the very beginning of our friendship. I love it.
Correct. And the good thing is, or the weird thing or unique thing that people might think, we physically haven't met yet. Ironically, we're both from England. We're not far from each other. We're in different countries at the moment, across big oceans, but it does feel like we've met, if you know what I mean, doesn't it?
It does feel like you're my sister, which I've never met before. I mean, I do have two biological sisters, but I do feel like you're kind of one of my real biological sisters, because you can be born into kind of the wrong family.
Adopted familia, isn't it? It's adopted family that you have in different places and across the world. And one of the ways that just to recap for our audience, I was following you on one of the Facebook groups where Joanne does amazing card reading, and I was always touched at how beautifully she'd worded it and stated it. And one particular day, I don't know what it was, something said to me, add this woman. You need to have her on a podcast. You need to have a chat with you. And that's exactly what I did. And then next thing I know, I was doing a Reiki course with her, which I have absolutely loved, by the way. If you're wanting to do that, I mean, Joanna's trained me now also to be able to deliver, but she's able to deliver herself. You're an excellent teacher, Joanne. Excellent teacher.
Thank you.
You know, and since then, you've gone on to do some amazing things. So let's have a catch up. Let's tell the audience worldwide what you've been doing since then. Because prior to this, you were working at home. You were working, setting up your own business, starting again, correct?
Yeah, so when you met me, Miriam, 10 months ago, I'd made the biggest decision of my life. I decided to do what I do on my own, which was massive for me because I do have insecurities. People think I'm quite strong, but inside sometimes I am paddling away. And when you met me, I was just opening my business. So I was working from home and I was working with people through Skype, through Facebook, just connecting with them on another level, doing readings, training, healing, whatever people asked. And then all of a sudden I got this amazing idea, and I think it did actually come from you, Miriam, to be fair, to start doing some positive affirmation cards. And from that grew into making tote bags and T-shirts and just, jumping out there. And then you asked me, could I do a podcast? And then I did the podcast with you, which inspired me to do a podcast with other people because, you let me into that world, you pushed me, you showed me how to do it. You've been encouraging from day 4. And then all of a sudden we were talking about books, and you've had a book published, and I've seen where you've gone in the 10 months I've met you. And that's made me want to write my book and talk about my journey, because there might be somebody out there that might listen and just need that. So I've done that. And then from that, I got a brilliant opportunity to start working in a shop, and it's called Sisterhood. And let me tell you, the ladies in there are so empowering. We are such a mismatch of people, but yet we get on because we're all, fighting for each other. We've got each other's back. And the girls there have shown me even more strength and how to stand in my power. And I hope I've, helped them slightly in some kind of way, just being there. But every step I've taken, I've kind of come to you for a little bit of advice. And you're like, you know what, Joanne, you can do this. You've got this, girl. And then a couple of weeks ago, I got the opportunity to go to my first ghost hunt, which I've never been on before. But let me tell you, that was an amazing experience. I managed to meet a lady called Jag, which she does her own bespoke jewellery and sources them from India. So that was an experience. I got to speak to other mediums and talk about why they're doing what they do and what the craft they do. And then over the weekend, oh my Lord.
Yeah, she was partying over the weekend. We're lucky, guys, we are lucky to have this VIP privilege podcast, because I'm surprised she's still got the energy to tell us. Go on, Joanne, go on.
Well, it's only because I've been to a festival this weekend. Oh my God, it has been amazing. It was called the Illuminate Festival. A beautiful guy runs it called Jake Reeves. He goes on the radio. He speaks to other, herbalists, other healers, other people on a spiritual journey. He had like this festival, and he brought healers in, he brought artists in, he brought shamanic healers in. I've met some great people. A lady actually made me a hat. She's called Lauren, and I will be tagging people in pictures and things, because I am taking pictures of everything that went on. And I've met a beautiful shamanic healer called Trisha from Liverpool. She was amazing. So for me, it wasn't about working, but it was about meeting people on my vibrational frequency, meeting my tribe. And in that, it's inspired me to kind of reach further. Let's capture my community. Let's bring that happy, vibrant energy into where I live. And if we can spread it around the world, then let's do this. Yeah. That's why I feel we're connected, me and you, Miriam. We're spreading the word, we're spreading the light, and along the way, we help each other. We don't just talk about the good times. We actually look at those horrible bits that happen as well, because it's not easy being spiritual. No, and sometimes you do feel alone, and it's nice to find those people who vibe with you.
Not everybody understands spirituality, and it's funny because it's the trauma and it's the negative sides and it's the bad things that have happened to us that let us be enlightened. We both have said about past trauma. We both said about the significant things that happen mental health wise, and we're not downgrading that. We've both said, yes, you need mental health help. We're not saying just go to a spiritualist. You have to go and maybe have counselling, psychotherapy, maybe go see a mental health doctor, whatever the thing is. However, there's also the other aspect as well, which is more holistic, which is what you've been talking about. And you're also right. I mean, it's coming up in a couple of days' time, where it's International Women's Day. And, it's beautiful that this podcast is going to come out nearer to that time, because we are empowering each other, and we are empowering and helping each other. And you're right, sometimes I've kicked your butt, you've kicked mine, but in a nice, positive way, because we need that help from each other, support from each other. And there are times, even our insecurities play on each other, our fears let us down. And one of the beautiful things about our sisterhood is that we lift each other up. We go, shut up, come on, pull your socks up, so to speak. Come on, you can do it. Sometimes you need that, right?
Yeah, and what I've realised, Miriam, is that not everybody has got that support around them. So it's now time to start speaking up. Let's call in that tribe. Let's create what we've created with other people. Let's not judge. Let's love and be just. Let's resonate on that frequency that we need to chase our dreams, to do what we need to do. We're all magical human beings. I mean, the other day, I had this conversation with a lady, and she said to me, I can't believe I'm going to be 50 in August. And I went, oh my God, I can't wait to be 50. I'm 44. Yeah. I said, my 40s have been fabulous. Yeah. So my 50s, I know I'm going to smash it out the park. So even you just do one thing a day, that's different. Yeah. You're winning at life, we might have a wrinkle, but they're wisdom lines.
Yes.
We've got grey hair because we've been on this planet for 50 years. Yeah. That is an achievement. Yeah. It's something to be celebrated. But then I also thought to myself, Joanne, you're giving this advice, but what are you going to do that's different?
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Correct.
How are you going to prove yourself? And that's when I went to the festival.
Yeah.
I jumped out of my comfort zone and met my tribe. And in that, I got 2 beautiful tattoos of 2 gorgeous spiritual beings. And I've made a connection that will be there forever. So for me, thank you to Jake that put it all together.
Yeah. Well, we knew you were a secret raver and a dancer. Come on now. We knew that.
I just tried to hide it away.
Thing is, you know what? There are times when, and I understand this better than anyone, that you'll be called quirky, bonkers, cuckoo. I was actually having a similar chat to someone I know because I was delivering a Reiki course at the weekend. And, you know, I was just sat back and reflecting about how important it is to do it properly and to do it thoroughly. And that's one of the things that you taught me. And also, I've been doing different things, as you're aware, in my personal life, but it did make me realise that is something I should push more. But it's not that I'm embarrassed about it or ashamed about it. It's more other things have taken priority, you know. So some things that are important to you have had to go like on a bit of a back burner, but actually it will come back in the limelight. But not everybody understands that spiritual path. Not everybody understands that spiritual journey. I think it's awesome that you're surrounded now in a place where, you know, we'll give the address details out. We'll give out your contact details again on the podcast so that people can book appointments and make appointments with you because, you know, this is your living. This is your everyday bread and butter. The additional things that you're doing, I'm really proud of you that you are doing additional things in line to that. You know, it's beautiful. And at some point you will have your own shop. I know that. I see that coming and I see it blossoming internationally. I really do, you know. And I do see that positivity in you. Sometimes, you know yourself, there's our inner child. It comes up, we're scared and we're worried and we're thinking about financial worries and, oh, how can this person afford this? Oh, they're investing in me, but why? And we have all these niggling doubts. And I think with me, sometimes I can be really bossy mare and I just go, shut up, take it. You know, like you said, would I take the same advice? Maybe not. But that's because life has dealt me different cards. So I know sometimes how hard it is to accept help when you're a proud person. And I know how hard it is to have someone encouraging your corner because you don't always have that, you know, in the way that you need. Yeah, would you agree?
No. I completely agree because we're both empaths. We both feel things on a very profound level, but also being empathic, we've been put on this earth to help others.
Yes.
So we do actually find it hard asking for help.
We do.
That was one of my greatest weaknesses.
Yeah. Same.
Not asking for help, you know, being proud. But for me, when I've actually reached out and took that help, that's when I've grown the most because you can't do everything yourself.
And it's learning who to ask the help from as well because sometimes, I don't know about you, I've learned some people expect something in return. There's a niggling little fish line hook. Then there are people that genuinely will give and don't expect anything. And that's the most priceless type that you get, right? Yeah. I'd like to think I'm in the second one. But it's not always easy. It's not always easy, is it? You know?
No.
But it's not always easy to give without expectation, without expecting something in return. And, you know, life does get busy. Life happens. But there are times when I know for a full well, if I picked up the phone and said, Joanne, I need you, you'd be there. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You'd try to say, Miriam, I'm busy at this time, but I've got a slot free here. What is it? You know, and vice versa.
Oh, definitely. It was like 6 months ago when I was struggling with something that was going on personally. I actually reached out to you and you was there straight away. And, you know, we've done the same. Yeah, I've done the same for you, but we've never done that expecting of the other. And there is a lot of people out there that are like that. Yes. It's just that sometimes we do put them barriers up because we have been hurt. Yes. But now we are trying to rebuild the world and bring it back to one. So exciting times are on the way.
Very exciting times. And, you know, it's beautiful that we resonate that and we pass it on to other people. Like you, I found like a sisterhood and a brotherhood, if you want to put it that way, dealing with different people, dealing with different tribes. I, in fact, have met more spiritual people recently. I will tell you about that later, Joanne, off the podcast finishes, but I'm sure we will have even more interactions, with each other.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. In regards to what you're doing at the moment in the business side of things, let's just go through some of the things you do step by step. So, for example, I've seen you do the ear candle and the ear, I'm going to say it wrong, right? Correct me what it's called, please. You know what I'm talking about. You can telepathically link me up.
It's Hope ear candling.
Thank you. That's the one. I didn't want to say it wrong. I could see it in my head visually. She knows what I mean. So talk us through that, because there might be some clients that have never thought about it and they might come and ask you for that. So what does that encounter? What does it do?
So Hope ear candling is an ancient technique that they used to clear the ears. And what it is, it's like a tube which is made out of, you've really put me on the spot.
Sorry.
It's all right. So it's made out of material and it's got wax on it, and you do light it and burn it. And it is a funnel, and what it does is it drains your lymphatic system. So from your nose straight to your ears. Because I don't know if you know, but you're not supposed to use cotton buds because it does push the wax back in. And then after we do the treatment, I actually do a massage, a lymphatic massage on the person.
Nice.
To drain all, the loose debris that's in the body, in the system. But because I give the massage and being a Reiki healer, I do some healing on them at the same time. So I do the chakra balancing at the same time if I feel something is out of balance.
Yeah.
Now, if you are suffering with tinnitus or migraines, or you're feeling lethargic, you can't smell, you have allergies, Hope is a really good alternative to the cotton bud.
There you go, folks. You see, you know where to go if you need that type of treatment. You are doing other things there as well, aren't you? So people are also able to book appointments for you for your other services. So Joanne, what else are you able to offer as well?
So also, I do Swedish massage with the Reiki infused, but then I also do Reiki. With me being a Reiki master, I do treatments, but I also train around the world, as you know.
Yes.
As on a one-to-one basis, I do it in the shop, but I can do distance healing also because I am a Reiki master. I can do it on a non-physical level. Okay.
Yeah. And Joanne was able to train me. I'm all the way over in the Middle East. It wasn't a big palaver trying to set the times. She was very professional. Let me just say, I'm giving you a review. I know I said this to you, but she delivered it really, really well. I did all 3 courses with her. And we did it over a period of time. Obviously, if you're wanting to do that with Joanne, we can give her email details or phone details. Internationally, like we've just said, she's able to do it. So it's not an issue. If you're thinking, it's just in the UK, it is not. She's able to do that worldwide. It's just a matter of booking a session, booking the time when the 2 of you are free. And I'm sure Joanne will be able to do that. And I personally found it really helpful, really, she's an excellent teacher, able to guide me. I had lots of questions. She was able to answer them, even if I put her off the topic, but she didn't mind, she was like, right, yeah, Miriam, it's this, and she would clarify things for me. I had a Reiki master before that wasn't really Reiki, to be honest, I discovered after her course. So I found your course, Joanne, really amazing. And like I said, I've been now teaching my very first student, and it's going really, really well thanks to you. And I know that for me will grow. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miriam, because like we discussed while we was training, I know when I come across people how actually powerful they are. I was just there to guide you, to show you the steps of what you were already doing.
Yeah.
What you were already doing. So I know anybody that you will train will be fabulous because you will make sure of that. But where the courses are concerned, I've tried to do it as simple as possible. With being dyslexic myself, I do find it hard to take things in on a learning basis.
Yeah.
When it's manual, I can do it quite easily. So I've tried to make it as easy as possible for each and every one of us. But I am having a website built at this moment, so
Brilliant.
you will be able to contact me through my website also if you do want to book in.
Brilliant.
And like you say, because I do wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, I do train a lot of people around the world.
Yeah.
So that works to my advantage if you are abroad.
Yeah, and one of the things that was beautiful about Joanne's course is she's registered as well. We have to be registered with holistic membership as well. So we'll put the details of that because she is certified, she's registered. It's not something that's just, it's just someone trying to do a course. No, she's actually a member of a particular group for holistic training. So it is certified. You do get proper certificates, which I found very helpful. Again, with the previous person, I didn't. So again, the way you did it, Joanne, was right. And I just want to make that clear that not everybody out there does it that way. So that's a nice thing. Hopefully you get lots of other people want to do it, but you do angelic Reiki as well, don't you? Courses.
Oh yeah, so I do the angelic
which I need
side.
to sign up for.
Sorry, I do love the angelic side. I love my angels. I've worked with them from day one. With the angelic side, it's a lot more peaceful. It's a lot more relaxing, but it is quite a strong energy. And when I did pass my advanced angelic course, I did actually get a massive download from my spirit team, and I started writing manifestation courses of my own and my book that I'm going through. So I do feel when you are getting attuned to this energy, it's not just about healing, it's about empowering yourself, working with the universe, handing your worries over, because sometimes it can be scary.
Can.
33.
Yeah, one of the things that's beautiful about you, Joanne, is there's so many different options now that you're opening yourself up to. And helping others is obviously part of both of our messages, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm really hoping, that more and more people get in touch with you and are able to book different sessions. The thing is, you've got this beautiful umbrella now of different aspects that you can do. And I'm doing that in my own way. I've done it in a slightly different way, as you've seen. But what else are you able to offer that customers might find interesting, or people might want to get in touch with you worldwide? What else can you offer that we might not have mentioned already?
So I do a lot of inner child healing, okay? So that's where we're going for our insecurities and healing from them. So what a lot of people don't realise and understand is through the way we've been brought up, through our peers, our parents, our teachers, it does create trauma inside, whether it be the slightest thing or whether it be a massive thing. We can suffer from abuse, we can suffer from mental abuse, but we can move past it. So what I try and do now is my form of inner child work, and I'm actually having quite a lot of success with it.
Brilliant.
We're never going to stop getting the visions of what's happened, but we can change the feeling from it.
Yes.
Because I've noticed as well, a lot of people who've been judged, who have been persecuted, they do go into self-sabotage mode. So that's when you procrastinate. That's when you stop, fulfilling your dreams. You start talking to yourself in a certain kind of way. So I do offer that service. I do some spiritual counselling. Now, I'm not a qualified counsellor, but I do techniques that counsellors use, like the tapping technique on the meridians. I do reflective work, which psychotherapists use, but I use my own twist on things. Everything that I've learned within my journey, that is what I pass on to others. So I don't pass on anything that I haven't tried myself personally.
And at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is help your client, Like I said to you, there are some people out there that are genuinely not helping the client. They're there to make money. You are not one of those people. You're actually about the whole being, the holistic side of somebody, and you're trying to talk to them. Obviously, and I know we have ethical standpoints. If we feel that person needs counselling, they have to go and see a real counsellor. If they need to see medical attention, they'd go and so. So we're just making it clear that we're another tool to help them, another side of things. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, because of the line of work that I do work in, I do have a psychotherapist that I refer people to, which is Miss Rachel Challenge. So I do have people to direct people in. So if somebody needs shamanic healing, I now know a shamanic healer that has been in the practice for 20 years. I've seen what she does. If somebody wants to go out on the stage and look fabulous, I've just met Lauren, a mystic mushroom boutique artist, so I can send her to her. I know other mediums that I'm a medium myself, so I know who's genuine and who's not. And if I haven't got time to, or I can't help that person, then I will pass that message on to that person.
And this
because
is
for me, sorry, Miriam, for me, I am here just for the magical fact that everybody is magical in this world. And if I can help people see that within themselves, my job is done. That's all I'm here for, to empower other people like I have done myself with people helping.
Yeah. And the world that we're living in at the moment is, more of us are now becoming more alert about mindfulness and about our well-being and mental health well-being. And the only reason I'm saying about the psychology side or psychotherapy side is there are so many people that are coming to you for help, and then they're saying, I'm not getting better, and you're saying to them, this is one aspect. You also need to see the other side of things too. We have an obligation to also be careful of the clients too. It's not something that can be fixed quickly. Sometimes people want a quick fix, and they have to realize it's a journey. It's a journey. And it's like you said, when you do the inner work, you do the meditations, you do the mindfulness. I said this to you a while back, and in fact, part of my Reiki course this weekend, I practiced my sound healing. I've been trying to practice more sound healing therapy and learning about that, and I've loved it. I know you did something similar with like African drums. I hope you're still doing that. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing, that side of aspect. And this is what I'm saying to you. Sometimes people think you're cuckoo, but actually you're helping with the meditation, you're helping with the breathing, you're helping that person to relax and to be in a calm state. And then you're able to do the meditation and whatever else it is you need. And what's wrong with having a 5-minute step out of the zone of just relaxing and, making sure that you are calm? Even when we've got kids studying for exams, you say to them, right, remember, stay calm, stay focused, do your breathing. Because we are in a world where sadly we are getting more anxiety attacks, panic attacks. It happens a lot more since COVID, I would say, So I've been doing that side of things myself. Are you still doing the music, Joanne?
Well, it's funny you say that. So I have done my own meditation with somebody called George Hudson, which is a brilliant producer. But this weekend, I have been looking at vibrational hertz. Wow. So the healing through vibrational hertz. So me and George are actually going to get back into the studio to do a recording at 432 hertz, which is a healing hertz. So you'll have to watch out for that, because I think that excited.
It would be nice to have you both on the show at some future point when you do that, and have maybe some sound clips so that people can listen in. That would be beautiful. What an amazing journey you have had over the last couple of months, and I hadn't realized how long it had been. To me, it feels like 2 minutes. It doesn't feel like 10 months, to be fair.
No,
it doesn't at all. It's an absolute blessing, Joanne, to have you not only in my life but also on the show. If going forward, is there any big plans that you've got at the moment, or is it top secret, or?
Right. I've got top secret plans ahead. So today I have done a video on Facebook. I am going to start doing my spiritual groups again once a month at the new moon. So that's where a group of us get together and we talk about things, and I guide them as much as I can for a couple of hours. But on a bigger scale, I would love to create something a bit like Jay created this weekend, calling My Tribe Where I Live. Yeah. I've made some brilliant connections, so I'd like people like that to come along. But you know me, Miriam, I dream big. I'd love to be over there one day chilling with you, doing what you do. Do you know what I mean? So you dream big.
Yeah, dream massive.
Let's go for it.
Dream massive. And the good thing is we will meet. We will be. I mean, I'm moving different left, right, centre wherever spirit is guiding me, and that's my calling at the moment with what I'm supposed to be doing. However, you know, it doesn't stop you from having that and making that reality, does it? At all?
No.
At all.
No.
You've done those little. You know, you've planted the seeds. They're growing, and they're growing big time. You know, and that's the thing that you don't sometimes see. I just remembered as well, although I'm not on there, I'm sure you have TikTok. I've seen on one of your Facebook posts recently, you were doing TikTok cards, but for horoscopes as well. We forgot to mention that.
So I'm a card reader also, psychic, but my strongest sense actually is doing it intuitively. I can read people as soon as I get near them. Yep. My cards are just a tool now. But what I've decided to do is just a little TikTok group where, you know, I'm dancing, I'm showing people how to have a good time. I feel, you know, if you were dancing, you're vibing high. Back in India, they used to dance every day, and they was fit and healthy. So give it a try. Yep. So showing people the fun side of it, but also I'm showing a bit of my knowledge. You know, if you are empathic, these are the signs you'll see. If you are a medium, these are the signs you'll see. Here's a card for water signs. This is what to watch out for this week. Yes. So I'm just trying to put a positive spin on what I do, because some people feel, you know, being a witch, being spiritual, it's scary. But at the end of the day, if you know me, you'll know I'm and I don't mean this in an egotistical way, but I'm the nicest person ever. Yeah. As soon as I meet you and I feel your energy, I love you unconditionally.
Correct.
So, and I just want to spread that.
Correct. However, we do have a side that protects ourselves too, because, you know, we also, as spiritual beings, can get attacked as well. Let's be honest. There are times you feel it, I feel it, you feel that person's negative energy, negative vibe. And that is the yin and yang. They have to exist between each other, you know. But that also, that's also because that person has to be that particular way. They're not always opened up. They're not always on a spiritual journey. They're always sometimes going to be, you know, in negative aura or negative vibes. And like you said, some of it is that is who they are meant to be. That is their path. They're not always meant to be spiritually enlightened, but it's the yin and yang. They have to exist side by side. And you're right. You are very positive. And
for me, when I've ever come across anybody that's been negative towards me, I sit back and I look at and read things. And I think the most spiritual thing you can do is kind of cut your energy off, wish them the best of luck, like I always have done, and just think about what I'm doing and what I need to do. Not spreading any hatred, just living. Yeah. And I hope anybody that has got, you know, negative energy against me, they're thriving and they're doing what they need to do. There's no competition in spirituality. We're all here for a reason.
Correct. And sometimes one thing I learned, I think you've probably learned this as well, you can't always help all your clients. There are some clients you have to say no to. Not out of disrespect, but you just know yourself, because you're psychic and because you can read people's energy, you just know that relationship, as in work relationship, isn't going to go far. You want to be productive, you want to help that client, but you can already see they're not going to help themselves. So sometimes you have to step away, sometimes you have to step back, sometimes you have to end that relationship. Sometimes someone might only need you for a short period of time too. You know, that's the nature of the beast, right? And again, it's helping, isn't it?
Yeah, because I say to all of my clients, you know, you're not going to know me forever. Yes. You're gonna thrive. You know, you meet people for a certain amount of time. There is people that'll be there forever, and it's not a reflection on you. No. It's not a reflection on them. But we're all living our human experience. Yeah. We're all having a journey, and it's okay to walk away and say no.
Sometimes that's been our inner child as well. That inner child, you know yourself, that inner child wants that older guide and that parent and that wisdom and that support and that love. And they want that unconditional love that they get from us, because we're that type of empath person. And there are times where you can give it for a long time and there's times you can't. And that's the side of things that sometimes we have to sort of live and learn from there. So just to finish off, it's not going to be the last episode, I know that for sure, but we will put your details in the biography, for people to connect. What's your TikTok account, Joanne, so they can get hold of you? Do you know?
I'm having a bit of...
No worries.
Let me just find one. So it is Joanne Lindsay 839.
And Lindsay is Lindsay, and I will put that in the bio details. So that's one way of getting in touch with Joanne. I will add her Facebook group on there. Hopefully when she gets her email account and everything else, any contact details for her, I will put in the bio. And hopefully when her website is up and running, you can book all different appointments with her. Thank you ever so much, Joanne. It was always a pleasure. It doesn't even feel like a podcast. It feels like just a chat. And the only thing's missing is the chocolate digestives and a cup of tea, sweetheart.
No, Miriam, it's always a massive pleasure. As you know, we can talk for hours. So I'm sure once we finish this podcast, we can get more personal with each other and find out what's been going in the background.
We'll have a proper catch up. Thank you ever so much, Joanne, for being on the show again. And I look forward to other podcasts with you as well. Do you want to say goodbye to our listeners?
You too, Miriam. Thank you so much for letting me hold this space. Thank you to anybody that's listening. And I do love you all. And I'm sending healing blessings to each and every one of you.
There you go. That's been an amazing podcast with my host, Joanne Lindsay and Miriam Khan at Raise Your Vibes. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your spiritual journey and blessings.